But once she started paying attention and noticing the sun coming up, she's like, oh yeah, this is a problem. Hi Dawnies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I ask you to please like, subscribe, and share, because you're helping this disabled by watching my fables so I don't have to beg you. Now, I'm a little late in posting this story because I think this news was probably about 2 months ago, but it keeps happening, so I'm sure they'll be in the news again. And as some of you know, that most of my videos are pre-scheduled because technically I'm homeless and I don't know where I'm going to be from time to time, so I'm trying to get, make a batch of videos before I find out where my next destination is going to be. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the time I was part of Denny's 1994 class action lawsuit. Now you would think after all these years, Denny's would have learned their lesson, but I guess not. What's that quote by Albert Einstein? How's it go? Insanity is doing something over and over again, looking for a different result. So I'm just coming to the point that Denny's Corporation is insane. That's what it is. As I was saying, I was part of Denny's 1994 class action lawsuit, and it was about discriminatory practice against black folks. Like I said, nothing has changed. I'm still hearing stories since 2016 with the same issue. Come on now, Denny's. You got to get it together. This is ridiculous. I guess you just won another class action lawsuit. You know, let history repeat itself. So what happened to me in 93 for me to be a part of the lawsuit was that my cousin and I think we were in Colton, California. Well, we stopped off at a Denny's after partying all night. You know, Denny's is good for soaking up alcohol. So we went into a Denny's. I think it was about maybe 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. So we're sitting at the table just talking and shooting the breeze until I realized, as I looked around, a lot of people have been served and are now leaving, and we're still here. And we didn't even get offered a glass of water. So I mentioned it to my cousin. Now my cousin is usually the type that doesn't like to make waves. But once she started paying attention and noticing the sun coming up, she's like, oh yeah, this is a problem. So I had taken it upon myself to motion the server to come over and let them know that we hadn't been served. I wasn't nasty or anything because I don't want anybody doing anything to my food, but I did let them know that we haven't been served and we're hungry, plus we're a little tipsy. So we did finally get our food and we ate and left, and I pray they didn't do anything to our food, but if they did, I'm still here, so whatever. Now, it wasn't until about 94 that I think my mom heard it on the news or something about, you know, Denny's in this class action lawsuit about being discriminatory against black folks, and that, you know, if you want to be part of the lawsuit, just call this particular 1-800 number. And I called the number, and they were basically saying to fill out a form. I think they mailed you a form because I don't think they had an online form at that time. But they mailed out a form, and I had to fill out the form and tell the story of what happened to us and provide a receipt and the time and location of when and where the event happened. Now, I know some of you are like, how did you still have the receipt? Well, see here, I have this little condition that my grandmother gave me. It's called being a pack rat. Also, most of my jobs have been for government agencies, and you learned with them that you can't throw any documentation away because it might bite you in the behind, and you have to prove when and where that happened. So you're like, here's the documentation. So between my grandma and working for the government, I am a pack rat when it comes to documentation and paper and receipt. I can give clothes away, I can give jewelry away, I can give anything away, but most of my storage bins are paper, 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 paper. But it does come in handy. I'm just saying, but there I go on a tangent. Back to the lawsuit. Oh, and for some who don't believe that this was actual lawsuit back in 1994, because I forgot to say that earlier, here are the headlines. Again, it's been 25 years since the last class action lawsuit. Insanity. Can we say it again, class? Insanity. Well, I haven't stepped into a Denny's since the early 90s. I don't care for their food anyway. It's pretty much only good for soaking up alcohol after clubbing. And my dad doesn't care for it because he's like, there's something wrong when you pull up to a restaurant and you can't smell the food cooking. There's something wrong with this picture. So my dad doesn't care for Denny's either. But yeah, there's no reason for me to ever step into a Denny's. The food tastes like nothing. It's just fluff in your mouth. It's a waste of money, waste of calories, a waste of time, and a waste of taste buds, and a waste of your dignity. Well, yet again, this is the story about me being part of the 1994 class action lawsuit against Denny's. I believe in California they paid out $28 million, and guess how much I got? Drum roll, please. $71.34. That should tell you something, huh? That's how many people were discriminated against. Well, like I said, there's no need for me to step into a Denny's. And you know, what does it say? Dollars make sense. Let's not spend our dollars at Denny's, and then we won't have to be subjugated to these kind of practices. Let them crumble. Well, Dawnies, remember to toast to life. It always makes for a great story. Keep your dignity intact. Don't force anybody to serve you or love you. Because it's not going to work out anyway. As I mentioned in the beginning, please like and share this video. Check out my other content on the channel. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you next week. Bye.